high school football, you just never know what you're going to get. Once he tucks it in, it's all about quickness, moves, and speed.
Malcolm Crispin, like he was shot out of a cannon.
Once he breaks the line of scrimmage, you got problems defensively.
Now it's Keyshawn over the right side, showing off his speed.
Harris has had the game of his life here. Give the freshman all the credit in that one, Pat.
They got their money's worth here tonight. What a game here at White Stadium. Hey, hello, everybody, and welcome to East Boston Memorial Stadium as we kick off our 2021 Boston Public High School football season. As tonight, the Boston Latin Wolfpack will be taking on the East Boston Jets. Hello, Boston. Welcome to Game of the Week. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And Alan, it's great to have the truck out at a football game. We haven't covered football since 2019, at least with our production truck. So as we slowly get back to normal, it's just nice to be at a football stadium here in the fall of 2021.
Oh, not only that, it just feels like it's only a couple nights ago we were sweating our heads off
exactly.
at BNBL championships in the summer. But in reality, it's been about a month, and you're right. Football season, the opening night, always exciting. Got to give credit to the coaches, players, all the people involved with the high school football because, unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, there was a fall 2 season. So you may hear us say fall 2 throughout the broadcast. And basically, these players, these teams played in the spring.
That's right.
Instead of the fall, which throws your body off. I still don't know how many athletes who usually play spring sports ended up playing football.
Right.
Because I know both coaches did mention the fact they have some first-time football players. As a matter of fact, in the case of Latin High School, they have some kids who are actually going to have to start first time they're playing football.
That's right. And a lot of those players that even were on the football team back in 2019 who might have been freshmen or sophomores didn't get a lot of time during the spring season because it's such a condensed time. They didn't really have time to teach these coaches. Well, so now they're going to be thrown into the fire as juniors and seniors without a lot of varsity minutes. So that's
talking
one thing
about keeping your hair on the swivel.
That's right.
Looking over the sideline for some direction.
That's right.
That's going to happen all night. Well, may see some opening game jitters, but as you mentioned, a lot of credit to the players who stuck with it, and here they are for a fall opening night.
That's right. That's right. It should be a lot of fun here in the fall of 2021. We are very happy to be back doing this once again. Now, if you think about both teams graduated a lot of skills position players, especially in their backfields. And first player we're going to talk about for Boston Latin is one of their receivers. That's number 15, Greg Rosenkrantz, who is going to be an integral part of the Latin school offense now that some of their older players and their seniors graduated in the spring.
Oh, most definitely. Rosenkrantz is that type of player who Coach Ray Butler is going to try to find some different ways to get him to football with some open field. I mean, obviously, East Boston's going to key on him, but Rosenkrantz is one of the fastest kids they have on the team. As a matter of fact, he had 2 touchdowns on one on an interception and one on a fumble recovery. So pretty unusual, but it just shows his versatility and his speed.
Yeah, no question. You see his athleticism and his playmaking ability on defense. They're going to need that on offense now with a lot of the skill position players leaving, including DeAndre Harris, Yuli Brenzel. They had several players last year that were seniors that were good skills position players for the Wolfpack. Meanwhile, for the East Boston Jets, they graduated their backfield. They had Amir Johnson, Christian Fredo, and also John Fest, who is a very good returner. So they now have a new set of skill position players. And one player last year on defense for the Jets, who's now going to be counted on offense, is number 4, Christian Martinez.
You watch him in the warm-ups, and you're right. He was moving around in different spots, but he has a nice skill set, likes to catch the ball. They have an option play where he actually can throw the ball, and, of course, he's a good runner. East Boston likes to start out, especially early in the season, start out with that grinding running game. We'll see how they do against this Latin front four.
Yeah, no question. We saw there, too. He started at linebacker all fall 2 season. Like you mentioned, we'll be saying that a lot. But now, again, he's another defensive player that now will be very much relied upon offensively for the East Boston Jets. So both teams in sort of that same situation there. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon. Michelle?
Football is back, and you can feel the excitement, especially coming from that East Boston Jets sideline, as they have a title to defend this season, but it won't be easy. The Jets graduated 10 seniors from last season's team. Head coach John Parziale told me the younger kids have to step up. He said their time is now. As far as that North title, he said we have a long way to go. We can't even begin to think about that. Our main goal is to win tonight. Pat.
Thanks so much, Michelle. And yeah, this is sort of the theme that's probably going to be across the city this year and probably even across the state. A lot of the younger players who didn't get a lot of time in the spring and didn't really have a chance to develop are just going to be thrown into the mix, and they're going to have to step up.
They're going to learn the hard way. It's as simple as that. And
that's right.
For East Boston, they always have a lot of kids come out to play, but some of the younger underclassmen are used to having that, development time. Freshman, sophomore, junior to senior, but this year was all different. So you're right. And East Boston, I think, is less of a problem because they run the same system. Meanwhile, for Latin, they're really throwing some. I think Coach Butler said at least as many as 6 players will be playing a lot of time for their first time in an actual high school football game.
Yeah, very, very green or. Not wet behind
green.
the ears.
No, it's green.
Definitely green.
They'll be
for a lot of these players. So we'll see. I mean, one of the big things I think you look out for too is penalties, because you got players who did not have a lot of varsity experience. They might be a little nervous. Sometimes they don't focus in the right ways they want to, and then you forget the simple things like the snap count.
There you go. It sounds funny, but oftentimes, and this all goes all the way to the pros. Sometimes when you break the huddle, guys actually forget the count as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, it happens at all levels. And that drives the coaches nuts. I have a feeling the coaches will be a little more patient this season with stuff like that.
They have no choice. They really have no choice.
East Boston in the blue and gold doing the kicking duties. Boston Latin School in the white and purple. We are set to go. Jets with that normal squib kick. Latin School does a nice job fielding it at the 34-yard line after an initial muff. And recovering for Latin School is Brandon Lau.
Lau did a good job. Didn't try to pick it up. Just once he saw the ball squirming around, was able to just get his body on it.
As we mentioned, Latin School, the away team in the white and purple.
Yeah, Latin had a tough fall 2 sessions. They were only able to win 2 games. But Coach Butler says he saw some development, some improvement, especially with the more inexperienced players. So he's looking forward to them taking another step forward.
Douglas George, the quarterback for Latin School. And on first down, to fake the handoff, it's George on the quarterback keeper, makes his way past the 40 up to the 41-yard line. 6-yard gain, make that a 7-yard gain for Douglas George.
Yeah, George he's sort of a lanky kid, 6'3", about 160 pounds. They have him listed as. So his running skills with those long strides are actually one of his biggest threats. See the fake handoff. And
let me correct you on that. It's myself on that, rather. It's a 6-yard gain there for the Latin School Wolfpack. And on 2nd and 6, we got a pre-snap penalty.
Looks like East Boston lined up offside.
Offside.
Yeah.
Blue. The defensive end, number 80, lines up in the neutral. 5-yard penalty, still second.
Yeah, and the line, I mean, you're supposed to look both ways to make sure, but if you don't attempt to slide back or step back, then the penalty can be called as pre-snap.
So now it's 1st and 10 for the Latin Wolfpack after the offside penalty on the Jets. On first down, the handoff to Eric Power, who tries to power his way up to midfield, and he's brought down right around the 48-yard line.
You mentioned Powell, one of the young kids, sophomore running back.
About a 2-yard gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 now for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, for Latin, they would really love to just be able to grind out first downs and take a lot of time off the clock, and obviously try to get a score.
George going to the air over the left side, finds a receiver. That's Matt Chow on the catch past the sticks. That's going to be a 1st down for Latin School.
Chow, smallest type play. He's only 5'8", 45 pounds. Let's watch it again. simple sideline pattern. Chow does a good job. Nice spin, spins away from the first tackler, and gets the extra yards for the first down.
Makes his way up to the 41-yard line, so another first down there for the Latin Wolfpack. George hands off to Power this time, and Eric Power is dropped in the backfield as the Jets got some penetration up front.
Yeah, Latin's trying to go behind their big offensive lineman, Christian Lerich, 75. He's one of the veteran sort of seniors on this team. At that time, like you said, the Jets just shut that whole thing down.
Mike Portillo coming across for the tackle there for Eastie. Mike's listed at 6'1" on the roster. I think he's a little bit bigger than that.
Well, you get the shoulder pads and the helmet, usually make you look a little bigger anyway.
That's
but
right.
You're right. It's over the summer, a lot of working out.
2nd down and 10 now, and a nice catch that time for Rosenkrantz. He makes his way over the right side. Greg Rosenkrantz then dragged down right around the 23-yard line.
Say that's why we actually had him, or that's why you had him as the spotlight player. Nice catch, goes high for it, but there's yards after the catch. He's able to break through, sort of sneaky type speed as the safety have to come up to make the tackle.
Once again, a first down there for Latin School. Now it's Douglas George on the option play. Not a lot of space to run there on first down. Might have picked up a yard.
I think you have to like the misdirection and the way that Latin's mixing their plays up. For the first game, it's interesting that they try a couple different passes. They're running both sides. And George, like we said earlier, with that size of his, is a decent runner himself. Seems like he's actually getting the plays yelled in from the sideline in between each snap.
2nd and 10 now for Latin School. George over the left side. He's got
nice
Chow
catch
again. And Chow is brought down inside the 20, down to about the 17.
Simple pattern, waiting for Chow to get to the sideline. Like the way he uses he washes the ball into his hands. Second time he used that spin move to get some extra yardage. Latin has a nice little drive going here to start the game.
Yeah, they strung together a lot of nice plays here on their opening possession. Under 8 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Clock still running. Boston Latin School knocking on the doorstep at the 17-yard line. 3rd and 5 now for the Wolfpack. That could be trouble for Boston Latin because that's a pre-snap penalty.
There was East Boston was actually faking a blitz, and looks like East Boston actually came across the line of scrimmage.
Oh, so another offsides penalty on Eastie.
Yeah, they threatened the blitz, but apparently they went too far.
So that'll give Latin School another first down. Now at the 12-yard line are the Wolfpack. So instead of being faced with a 3rd and 5, they get a first down off a penalty inside the red zone. Now it's George.
This is the blitz. George has some running room.
Escapes to the right, tries to throw over the middle, and the ball falls incomplete. Was it picked off? Picked off by the East Boston Jets. I thought it hit the turf.
Yeah, it did hit the turf. You're right. You
Okay.
got it, Pat. Eagle eyes, right?
I was so confused that time, too. We got
you
like
said it couldn't be a fumble. Nobody caught it.
That's right.
Yeah, the side judge saw that. Same thing you saw. Well, yeah.
Oh. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, if we can re-rack that, guys, that looked like an interception.
That looked like it hit like it hit the receiver. It's going to be a big break for Latin.
See if we take another look at it. 2nd down and 10 now for the Wolfpack. It's George again on the carry. George
nice cut. Good job.
Making his way inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he's deceiving with that 6'3" framer he gets more yards than it looks like.
Yeah, he's marked down at the 4-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 2 for a first down, it looks like. They can get a first down before the goal line.
Watch this. He turns himself into a running back.
Well, this is that.
I'm sorry.
Might have been an interception. Did it hit the turf? Hard to see because Chow was sort of shielding it.
Yeah.
Now on 3rd down, George looking to run again over the right side. Throws over the middle, caught by Chow for a touchdown.
Well.
Matthew Chow on the receiving end of a Douglas George pass. First touchdown of the season for Boston Latin School.
That's the way you want to start out. Watch George, bides his time. Right now trying to decide to keep it or throw it. He sees Chow come free.
So Boston Latin will now attempt the 2-point conversion.
I really like the way they came out throwing the ball so much. Chow, we have 3 catches on that drive.
George fakes the handoff to Power. George trying to power himself.
And he gets in
and
there,
he does. He gets a 2-pointer for Boston Latin. So a heck of an opening drive of the season for the Boston Latin Wolfpack as they score the touchdown on the connection from George to Chow, and then Douglas George takes it in himself for the 2-point conversion.
There you go. Like I said, 6'3", 160 pounds. Good leg strength. Takes a hit around the 2-yard line, but is able to dive in.
So a 9-play, 66-yard drive for the Boston Latin Wolfpack, capped off by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
And Latin ate up almost 6 minutes, almost half of this first quarter.
That's right. Normally you see the East Boston Jets are the ones that are killing the clock with their ground and pound style of offense, but that time Boston Latin School with a very methodical first possession.
Yeah, and it's the safe passes, but they were able to get Chow open a few times and then capped it off with his touchdown catch.
So Latin School now kicking off. It's George who's the kicker for the Wolfpack. East Boston now on the return as they make their way up to the 34-yard line. As that was number 8, Daniel Padronio on the return. Daniel, a senior for this East Boston team. Here are the starters for the Jets. You got Taylor Thompson at quarterback, Kincaid, Martinez, Bermudez, and De La Cruz are all running backs. The Jets really play a lot of wing backs and a lot of different running backs throughout their offensive system. Now on first down, they hand it off over the left side. That looked like Bermudez on the carry. Didn't have anywhere to go with it. Might have picked up a yard on the play. I'm sorry, that's number 26, Joshua De La Cruz on the carry.
It's going to be tough all night to figure out who has the ball. They have a lot of ball fakes, and most of the time the second guy through gets the ball. At that time was De La Cruz.
Actually gave De La Cruz a couple of yards on the play.
This time they come out in the I formation with De La Cruz deep back in the I.
2nd down and 8 now for the Jets. Handoff over the left side
First
this
man
time
through
for East Boston, and again on the scrum it's Christian Martinez with the carry past the 45 up to the 47-yard line. First down, East Boston.
Excellent push from the offensive line of the East Boston Jets. You see plenty of room to run, and then finishing off with some of the linemen helping him out going forward.
Now on first down for Eastie, now inside Latin territory. Couldn't quite see who had the football that time, as that was Bermudez that time on the carry.
Yeah, that Randy Bermudez.
Correction, they were not in Latin territory just yet. They're still at the East Boston 48-yard line. So just a 1-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for the East Boston Jets.
Now, just like you said, Pat, all running so far for the Jets. They like to just pound the ball ahead.
Now on 2nd down, handoff over the left side. Once again, it's De La Cruz.
Good spin.
Excuse me, that's not De La Cruz. We got a flag on the play. We now got 2 flags on the play as Eastie makes their way down to the 34.
That's Padronio, a nice run, but that's going to come back. Looked like it was either a block on the back or a hold. Padronio made a nice play after he had a spin.
4-9, coach. Blocking the back.
Blocking the, yeah. That's too bad.
Cesar Leva called for the block in the back, so that'll bring the Jets back.
I actually think it was away from the play, close to the sideline, but because it was near the linesman, it was easy to catch. Because Padronio did a good job after he got the handoff. He was hit the line of scrimmage, broke that tackle, then spun away, trying to get to the sideline for some room. East Boston always has a lot of running backs, like you mentioned, and uses a lot of them. Depending on their skills, it's almost like they have plays designed for certain skill types.
2nd down and 9 now for the Jets. They'll run that one back as Thompson rolling to his right. Overthrew the receiver, Bermudez, who had a ton of room in front of him. We got a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, plenty of room.
Again.
You're right. That was... Oh, we got personal foul.
We're going right here. We're going that way. We're going that way. Yes, there was a late hit on the quarterback. Right here at the big line.
Okay. See, Mike's working on Earl Garrett, our referee tonight. That's a big one. Late hit on the quarterback's personal foul.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
That's going to be
penalty.
Yeah, it's going to really help the cause for East Boston.
So the Jets now in Latin territory at the 40-yard line after the 15-yard penalty.
Going back to the play, actually, like you said, De La Cruz had some open field if the ball had been more on target.
Now on 1st down at the 40 of Boston Latin. A handoff over the left side to Kincaid. And the big fella rumbles down to about the 31-yard line. So Jaye Kincaid picking up some tough yards there for the Jets. They actually mark him down at the 32, so an 8-yard pickup there on 1st down.
Yeah, nice rumbling using those big legs of his. He might be the only, well, there's one other running back over 200 pounds for East Boston, but you're right. Jai is 6 feet 210. Junior.
That's a big running back in high school football. 2nd down and 2 now for the Jets from the Boston Latin 32. Handoff of the left side to Valencia, and no, it was Kincaid off the fake.
Again. Yeah.
Kincaid past the 30 up to the 26-yard line.
Again, good ball fake.
Faked me out.
And East Boston using that misdirection.
Boy, Chow had a nice job trying the form tackle, but Kincaid's
Kincaid has
about twice his size.
He has those thick legs. You know he can power through most arm tackles.
So another 1st down for the Jets. We saw a methodical drive from Latin School. Now we're seeing a methodical drive from East Boston. First down, handoff to Valencia this time, and he just gets it back to the 30, or rather the 25. So that's a 1-yard pickup there for Valencia.
That time Latin School came across the line of scrimmage well. Harry Makian. Yeah, Latin School trying to get a stand here to stop this this drive by the East Boston Jets.
Second down and 9 now for Eastie. Handoff over the right side of Bermudez, and he explodes through the line of scrimmage to the 17-yard line.
So, yeah, like you said, he hit the line of scrimmage in full stride. Let's watch this. He just once he gets the ball, he's already at full strength, full speed. And again, like you said, Chow had to come up to make the tackle. Matthews not that big himself. We talked earlier. He's 160 pounder. I'm sorry, 145 pounds.
3rd and 1 now for East Boston. handoff up the middle. It's
keeper.
Taylor Thompson, who takes it himself past the 15. And mark him down right at the 15, so it'll be a first down for the Jets.
Yeah, Taylor's a junior quarterback. Also lanky, similar to George at the Latin sideline. It says Taylor's 6 feet, 160 pounds.
So 1st and 10 now for the Jets from the Boston Latin 15-yard line. Hand off to Bermudez. Bermudez, some tough running inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, good second effort on that one. He was actually hit, but they couldn't wrap him up. So he gets hit, stopped right there, but running through the arm tackles and getting inside the 10-yard line. I'll tell you, picture perfect drive for East Boston. This is exactly what they want. They love this kind of offense. Head coach John Parzelli.
2nd and 2 now for the Jets.
Big
Hand
fella.
off to Kincaid to the end zone. Touchdown, Jai Kincaid. They went to the big fella for a lot of that drive, and they cap it off with a run from the 7 for a touchdown.
Yeah, he felt the momentum once he hit that. It's like a design play between guard and tackle, but he took it a little bit more outside. So once he gets outside, secures the football, gets a little momentum, he's already in there.
So the Jets will now try to tie it up with a 2-point conversion after the 7-yard touchdown run for Jai Kincaid. And
that play
could be the end of the first quarter, but they'll run the 2-point conversion before the end of the quarter. Jets run up the middle to Kincaid again and just keep going to the well this time as Kincaid caps it off with a 2-pointer.
So based on that drive, Pat, looks like we're going to see a lot of Kincaid.
Yeah, I think he's going to be
the rest of the 3 quarters here.
Getting fed a lot of footballs for most of this one. See if we can get a signal from the referee if that's the end of the quarter. I believe it is.
Watch Kincaid, just like you said, sees any kind of opening and just uses that size of his. I would dare say he's more than 210.
Yeah, I think so too.
Either that or he got a whole lot of pads under his uniform.
That's right. That's the end of the first quarter here at East Boston Memorial Stadium. It's the Jets and Boston Latin Wolfpack tied up at 8. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second quarter here on Game of the Week right after these messages. Don't go away.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to East Boston Memorial Stadium for week 1 of the Boston Public High School football season. It's the East Boston Jets and the Boston Latin Wolfpack tied up at 8 apiece. We're just about set for the kickoff here as the East Boston Jets just scored on the Jai Kincaid 7-yard touchdown run. And East Boston, again, they'll try that squib kick as they always do. We'll see if Latin School can field it properly. They do, right around the 37-yard line for Boston Latin. And our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon, has an update for us. Michelle, what's happening?
Boston Latin head coach Ray Butler told me his biggest concern coming into the season was inexperience. He said, I usually schedule just 2 scrimmages during the offseason, but I scheduled 3 so our team can get more reps. He said, tonight we're going to try our best, and he hopes that his team is able to get up to game speed in less than 3 quarters. Pat?
Michelle, thanks very much. And yeah, talking to Coach Butler before this game, like Michelle said, a lot of scrimmages in the offseason to make up for the lack of varsity experience. Now on first down, it's Eric Power making his way past the 40-yard line up to the 44.
Watch Power, simple handoff and good blocking up front. A host of East Boston Jets, including Christian Martinez, in there for that tackle.
Power's just a sophomore, but with not a lot of running backs, you know, he's going to get a lot of opportunities. 2nd and 5 now for Latin School. They throw over into the flat. Okay. Nice completion there.
Chakmakian, good job.
Yeah, the tight end, Chakmakian, on the catch.
Again, simple passes, safe plays. You see the cornerback playing off, see the safety playing deep. You have a little space there.
So a nice gain there on 2nd down. It'll be a first down for Latin School. You're a minute into the 2nd quarter. Latin School not moving with that hurry-up offensive pace.
Like we said before, the quarterback literally looks to the sideline and gets the play in between each snap.
1st and 10 for Latin School. High snap. Wow. George picks it up. Going to try to get rid of it. Actually, the completion was incomplete, and it was actually a good thing for Latin School. Yeah, it would have been a big loss.
Well, it would have been a huge loss if George had got tackled, so his athletic ability saved that play. Mishap, snap totally over his head.
Here are the starters for Latin School as George Power, Rosenkrantz, Nizoliak, and Chow are the receivers.
That's George had success throwing to Chow in their opening drive for their first 8 points.
Second and 10 now for Latin School. George scrambling to the left, looking for an opening. He's going to take it off and run, and then it's drilled out of bounds right around the 40, make that the 38-yard line. So a nice pickup there on 2nd down. He was tackled by his quarterback counterpart, Taylor Thompson.
Yeah. Watch the right of your screen. You'll see Thompson, number 1, come through. Wow, he really closed on him.
6-yard pickup, however. 3rd and 4 now for Latin School. George takes it himself again off the option. Over the right side goes Douglas George. Another nice gain there on 3rd down as he's wrapped up right around the 34, or 24, excuse me.
Yeah.
That'll be another first down for Latin School.
Yeah, George really made that play himself. I mean, he had some room, but he did have to make a couple of fakes to get enough for the first down. The key to the play was the fake to the fullback right there, which drew a couple of defenders, gave him some running room, and right here he's able to take himself outside, knows exactly where that first down is.
First down from the 24 now for Latin School. George over the middle.
Oh, nice
Got
catch.
His tight end again.
Chakmanian. Woo.
Chakmanian makes his way down to the 3-yard line.
Right in between the secondary of East Boston, and Coach Faziali wants a timeout. He's a little upset about how the tight end found some open space between 4 different defenders in the defensive backfield. Definitely East Boston timeout to fix that pass defense. And for Latin, a bit of a surprise that they're actually so confident throwing the ball so much. Chakmanian, the tight ends, had 2 big catches, both for first downs.
Douglas George also seems very comfortable under center, or in the shotgun rather, because that's how they're setting up their offense. He split some time during the spring with Roy Thompson, a senior, during the fall 2 season. So he, even though he's young as a junior quarterback, got a decent amount of varsity reps in the spring.
And he definitely showed some progress, as you can see. He's a good runner from the quarterback spot, and we've seen him being pretty accurate on his passes.
George also a pitcher for the Boston Latin School baseball team who made it to, I believe, the 3rd round of the state tournament this year. He was one of their starters and helped them be very successful. So Usually, if you're a good pitcher, you can throw a football too. Right now for the East Boston Jets, who are normally that ground and pound running team, and then, you know, kind of boast a pretty good defense, especially up front, are, you know, kind of back on their heels right now.
They're definitely back on the heels. I think they're a little stunned also. They both the entire first quarter, the whole 12 minutes was split in half almost evenly, pretty much. Both teams just had one drive. They both scored touchdowns and 2-point conversions for our tie.
There's Douglas George, who back in the spring against Weston had 2 touchdown passes back on April 2nd. It's weird to talk about football on April 2nd.
I know, that's what I was going to say. misprint.
That's right. Trips to the top of your screen here for Latin School inside the 10-yard line.
Oh,
over
nice
the right
pass.
side. Easy touchdown for the Wolfpack as they connect with
Lau,
Brandon Lau.
Yeah.
So a lot of different receivers here for Latin School, getting a lot of touches.
Lau, with his 120 pounds, jumped in the air to celebrate and got knocked down by his teammate.
Right. So the smallest guy in the
I was
field.
just going to say, you look at him with that number 2. He is 120.
Yeah, that's a legit 120 with pads on.
But he made a nice move, saw the goal line, and again, we talked about George. Well, maybe what you said about him being a baseball player helps him because he's been pretty accurate. He had that one miss on the screen pass that could have been a big play, but he's made up for it because he's pretty much hit everything else.
Latin School again looking for the 2-point conversion after the touchdown to Lau. George going to get wrapped up in the backfield, tries to dump it off, almost intercepted. I think Ray Butler will talk to George after that one about trying to make a miraculous
Make something
play
out of
right
nothing,
there.
right, yeah. Well, it's good pressure. Defensive end, it doesn't get sucked in. Pedronio, that time, actually made the play by forcing George back into the defensive pressure. So, score will stay 14-8.
So a 6-point lead here for Latin School after the touchdown connection from George to Lau. Wolfpack now on top by 6. 9 minutes left to go here in the second quarter.
But again, nice controlled drive. This time mainly using the passes. Those 2 passes to the tight ends kept the drive alive. They actually forced East Boston to call a timeout to get their defense straight.
So Latin School once again kicking off. It's Douglas George. Ball fell off the tee, so they'll have to re-kick. Wind really picked up here. I mean, it's normally windy here, but we had a pretty good gust just come through.
It's always windy, yeah. It's the trees are even leaning.
Very close to the airport and close to the water here at East Boston.
So you got a double whammy. You got the noise with the airport, and you got the wind with the water. Right. But it's still September, early September, so it's
That's
not.
right.
We've been here when it's been cold later in the season.
And we have a game scheduled for October, which I'm sure will be cold. George again with the kick. T goes further than the ball. Nice return here for the Jets as they put themselves in good field position at the 41. Valencia on the return.
I think George actually got his foot stuck before he kicked that, because you can say he kicked the tee farther than the football.
So East Boston will look to respond after another touchdown drive from the Boston Latin Wolfpack.
Yeah, you can tell George really good all-around athlete. Some of his runs have kept their offensive drive alive, and he's showing good accuracy with his passing.
Gets on first down, handoff over the left side. Nice hole right here for
How much
De La
speed has he got?
Cruz. He takes off.
Yeah, he's out.
Nobody in front of him. De La Cruz with a touchdown.
Talk about quick hitter.
You ain't kidding.
That's it. So just like that, the score is tied at 14.
So
the conversion coming up. Wow, De La Cruz. See what there's a block right there. Is the defensive end for Latin with double teams, Liam Rowland. Once he was shut down, there was all clear sailing for De La Cruz.
De La Cruz with a 58-yard touchdown run, ties it up at 14 here in the second quarter, and the Jets will now look for a 2-point conversion.
Hey, we talked about the slow, methodical drives before. This might start turning into a shootout.
Yeah, this is one of the faster drives the Jets have had. Handoff up the middle again. And the Jets do get in for the 2-point conversion. So East Boston takes a 2-point lead. Kincaid, the big fella, punches it through.
There he is, number 3. Gets the ball and more of a scrum. Just get over that line. You got your 2 points.
One thing the East Boston Jets have always prided themselves on is having a good offensive line who can get a push up front. And they do have 3 returning starters this year on the offensive line.
It's a major advantage, like you said, some of the other schools. This is, our first game, obviously, and as we go through the season, that's going to be the story for a number of different schools. That to lose players after that spring season, and then have to depend on some players who haven't gotten much varsity time to come along and all of a sudden step right up.
Alvaro Pineda doing the kicking duties for the Jets. And Latin School just pounces on it right around the 34-yard line. Boston Latin so far has done a nice job with that squib kick. We've seen so many teams.
They were ready for it. That was Lau again.
Try to pick it up and run with it. And that squib kick it's like a knuckleball coming at you. Sometimes you just it's
very
hard
deceiving.
to corral.
And don't forget, it's on artificial turf.
Right.
And that adds to the craziness of the bounces that you get. The ball spins, it bounces. Lau, that's the second time he's able to do a good job of keeping possession for his team.
So Wolfpack now on first down. Handoff up the middle, that time to Power.
So both teams trying to get some mileage out of their fullbacks.
Yeah, Power with a 1-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for Boston Latin. George looking to throw over the middle. He's got his receiver, Chow again. Tough catch right around the 42-yard line. Going to be 3rd and short now for Latin School.
George did a good job to wait until you had a clear path to throw the football.
3rd and 3.
Got some late pressure, but hung in there.
3rd and 3 for Boston Latin.
Here comes a blitz.
George off the low snap, gets it out to the outside.
Nice
Chow
job.
doing a nice job making his way upfield.
I tell you, run after the catch makes the play.
That'll move the change for Boston Latin.
To watch George, a little trouble with the ball as the ball came skidding back to him. Chow stayed with the play, knows he has to now gain some more yardage for the first down.
And looks like East Boston wants to take a timeout here with 6:57 left to go.
I think there was a little confusion
in the second
with
quarter.
The defense because they had one of their players running onto the field at the last second.
Well, we're in a timeout for East Boston. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/Game of the Week Boston. A lot of good stuff up on that site. We give you, what games we're going to be covering. We provide links to watch the game live on YouTube or watch the game live on Boston City TV. So make sure you like us on Facebook. Check that stuff out. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. We also post updates on what games we're going to be covering for that week on Twitter as well. And if you want to tweet at us, ask us a question, let us know anything about any of these teams, feel free to tweet at us at Boston City TV and use the hashtag BostonGOW. 16-14, East Boston Jets on top.
So far, well-played game for a season opener. I mean,
Sure.
couple of penalties earlier in the first quarter, but not the typical type of sort of sloppiness and mental errors that we see a lot of times with opening seasons.
Yeah, we got two quarterbacks who have some experience. We've seen, or both of them got some time during the spring, but both have done a nice job handling the football with the snap. I mean, it's been pretty clean here, like you mentioned, Al, in the first half.
And like you said, George is really comfortable throwing the football.
1st and 10 now for the Wolfpack. They flip it out to the right side. And another catch that time from Lau, and he picks up maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, the idea is to try to get Lau into some open field, but the Jets did a good job closing that down. Watch, you'll see right on your screen is the Jets, before Lau can really get a good hit of steam. Coming up to make that play is O'Neal, Michael O'Neal.
Yeah, nice looking open field tackle there from O'Neal. 2nd down and 10 now for the Wolfpack. They fake the handoff. It's George again off the fake. George over the right side past the 40. Powers his way past the 35 up to the 28-yard line. Tough run there from Douglas George.
Excellent run. I mean, it all started with that play fake to the fullback, since they've been using the fullback so much. See, that good fake. Pulled it back out of his stomach, and he has plenty of room. You have to like the way he finishes off this run, too, Pat. You see he takes the hit there from O'Neal, bounces off, and adds another 5 yards before he's finally down. I'll tell you, he's as much a running back as he is a quarterback.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it with that slender frame, but he's been running pretty hard. On 1st down, he
Same
tucks
play.
it in this time and is wrapped up just past the line of scrimmage. 1-yard pickup there on 1st down for Douglas George.
Yeah, it's like a read option that the quarterback decides whether the ball will stay with the fullback or if he pulls it back. That time you saw a perfect example of it.
Second and 9 now for the Boston Latin Wolfpack from the East Boston 27. George scans the field, finds a receiver over the left side. This time it's 15 again. Rosenkrantz with a nice reception, makes his way up to the 19-yard line. So just short of the 1st down does Rosenkrantz get. So it'll be his 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, Rosenkrantz
now for Boston Latin.
We're in a nice pattern. It seems like the Jets thought he was going to go deep. He just cut it off, found an open space.
Third and 1 now for Latin School. They flip it out to the fullback, for the tight end, excuse me.
Yeah, it looks like somebody helmet to helmet. So not only will it end up being the 1st down, but they'll be tacking on some yardage after this.
It was a completion of the tight end Chakmakian, and like you mentioned, Alan, probably helmet to helmet contact.
That flag came right out. I mean,
right.
as soon as
the
hit happened, the flag came right out.
I think it was going to be on Thompson.
Oh,
they're going to pull it again. Wow. Not a penalty.
Okay,
well, if it was Thompson, Taylor Thompson actually, you know, he's the quarterback, but he's made his way onto this team playing linebacker.
That's how he started. Nice. It was weird because he has that, like we said before, he had that frame, like, you know, sort of a lanky type frame, but tough enough to play linebacker. Tonight he's actually playing both linebacker and cornerback. So, especially with the way Latin's been throwing the ball so much, I think we'll see him more in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, Coach Parziali mentioned they wanted to play him in the backfield because of all of his experience on defense. Power on the carry here on 1st down. Gets up to the 15-yard line, so just a 1-yard pickup on that play.
Again, see, this time the option is to give the fullback the football.
Going back to Thompson, Danny Ventura of the Boston Herald had a nice little article about Taylor. I believe 2 days ago they came out with it about how he started out as a linebacker, as a young player during the spring. The coaches were watching him in practice like, who's that kid?
Yeah.
Lighting people up in practice. 2nd down now, it's Power again. And He makes his way down to the 14-yard line, just about. I think at the 13-yard line. So a second 2-yard gain there on second down. So it'll be 3rd and about 7 now for Boston Latin. They have to get to the 6-yard line for a first down.
Well, it's 4-down territory for them, so they actually have two downs to get this, 6 yards?
Out of the shotgun, George over the middle. He's got
that
Chow again,
Chow,
and Chow gets knocked down right around the 6. I think that the 5. They mark him
the
down at the 5. Yep, first down.
I'd say the thing about these Latin receivers, every receiver is making yards after the catch. I mean, that perfect example, Lau. We talked about how light he is, weight-wise, but he knew that as soon as he caught it, he had to use momentum to get upfield. Give him the 1st and goal.
Yeah, each receiver seems to be able to find that open space out in their patterns. Now on first down, it's Power with the carry. And Power sheds a couple of tacklers.
Oh, he's
drives his way down to the 1-yard line. Living up to his namesake.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Power was watching Jai Kincaid from East Boston do his thing. So now he wants to match that up. I said both teams are using their fullbacks heavily. So 2nd and goal from about the 1. Looks like East Boston wants a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Parziale uses his 3rd timeout of the half.
I think he didn't like the alignment for some reason. I'd say we got to give the Boston Latin offensive line some credit. They're keeping a clean pocket for quarterback George to have plenty of throwing lanes. Obviously helping on the giving the running back some places to run, as well as George. I should say mostly George. So it's even though you have some inexperienced players, players who you're really not sure what you're going to get, they do have a couple of linemen on both sides of the ball who play both ways, rather, who are helping to anchor this. So here we are, 1:22 before halftime, and they're knocking on the door to try to take the lead before halftime.
Yeah, one of the players for Boston Latin School, number 58, Garrett Quinn, before this season was expected to be a reserve running back, and then they came into the year and they said, we kind of need a guard here.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to play a little offensive line? As we see some of our camera ops getting some great shots of the planes coming through here. I'm sure you've heard them all night. But yeah, you've had a running back who's going to be like a 4th stringer now have to start on offensive line.
All of a sudden, yeah. Hey, well, let's take some first team reps.
That's right.
It's a first team. What?
Garrett was probably like you mean on offense?
Are you kidding me?
Done a good job so far. Latin School, and now we got a pre-snap penalty.
Offside again. See
Offside
that
again on the Jets.
The Jets, for some reason, again, it could be just an experience.
No. It's a federation rule. It's not MIA where we can tell them to back up. We got to call it immediate.
See, it's actually a good explanation. That's again, a referee explaining to the East Boston sideline. There's different rules. Federation rules are the national rules.
That's right.
MIAA is just Massachusetts.
And Power gets wrapped up in the backfield.
Yeah, that time East Boston smelled that out.
They actually just changed those rules. I think it was back in 2019, actually. There's just see Power
nothing there at all.
Nothing there at all. Coming across for the Jets.
That's actually one of the few times. That's Plagenza.
Yeah, Anthony Plagenza.
That's one of the few times that we saw George make the wrong decision on not keeping the football.
3rd and goal now for Latin School. 4th and goal, excuse me. George escaping the pressure. George looking to the end zone still, throwing it to the back of the end zone, and the ball is deflected. Heck of a job there by Valencia breaking up that pass. So a turnover on downs as East Boston prevents a touchdown.
Well, this might be 4th coming up. Yes.
Okay, my apologies. They had it wrong on the scoreboard here at the stadium.
Yeah. But the help of doing this, the sticks had it right.
No, the injured player doing the sticks, all over it. So it'll be 4th and goal now for Boston Latin.
Okay, Rosenkrantz and Lau are on the same side to the right here.
You got trips to your left as well, George.
Again,
rolling to his left, looking to escape pressure, throws it towards the end zone, intercepted. Christian Martinez coming up with the pick. Good coverage that time from East Boston.
Yeah. Now that's the one that Coach Butler's going to talk about.
Sure.
Because from our angle, it looked like he give him credit. He kept looking downfield to get into the end zone, but when he first started to roll, there was no defender there at all. Like, first time we've seen a defensive team force a stop and take the ball over on downs. We're down to, 32 seconds to go before halftime.
You see Taylor Thompson started the final 2 games of the Fall 2 season. They actually brought him in, I believe, about the 4th game of Spring 2. Fall 2. The Jets played about 6 games in the Fall 2 season. Taylor Thompson came in about game 4, halfway through against Tech Boston. They lost the game. Coaches really liked the way he played, started the final 2 games. Here on the handoff on first down,
De La
Cruz again as he shoved out at the 16.
Very close to the same play. He just ran at that 54-yard touchdown jump. Watch it again as you see the defensive end again get caught inside, giving De La Cruz some room to the sideline. See, it's a double team on Liam Rowland, the outside linebacker, and that time wasn't as bad as the touchdown run, obviously, but same design, same play. Okay, Pedronio Daniel, the bigger running back, is going to be in. He's one of the seniors.
23 seconds left to go before halftime. Jets run the misdirection again. That's De La Cruz again with a nice carry up to the 24-yard line. Make that the 20. Yeah, they did mark him down at the 24. 5 seconds left to go before the half.
Trying to get one more play.
Final play. Taylor Thompson spiked the football. It looked like there was about a second left on the clock, so I think they're going to be allowed one more play here. Scoreboard at the stadium says 0, but there will be a second left, and the Jets will have one more chance.
The official time has actually been held on the field, and they're saying it's halftime.
And it is halftime, so I thought there'd be one more play, but what do I know? So the Jets still on top of the Boston Latin Wolfpack 16-14. Heck of a first half there as both
fun first half.
Players are moving up and down the field.
The first quarter, it was just, each team had one long drive, touchdown drives, 8-8, after the first quarter. And then the second quarter, a little more diversity in terms of the play. And then, like we just said, first time our defense actually stopped the offense on downs. East Boston took over, but they were just too far away to really do anything in the last few seconds.
That's right. I mean, we saw both these teams, as you mentioned, just drive up and down the field, and there were methodical drives too. I mean, I know East Boston had that long touchdown run from De La Cruz, but these teams have been able to move the football pretty much the way they've wanted to.
I'd say the coaches have to be happy with this. I mean, because both offensive lines are working well. Even with some of the inexperience, because you're talking about blending a couple of seniors with some inexperienced guys,
right.
And so clearly the jitters wore off in that first quarter because the second quarter was pretty well played. A lot of good execution, less penalties.
Sure.
Okay, and I think the players at this point, regardless of whether you're a sophomore or an experienced player, or if this is your first varsity start, regardless of that, you're sort of into the game now. So the second half could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no question. Like we mentioned, both of these coaches should be pretty happy with their teams right now. One of the coaches, Ray Butler of Boston Latin, is with our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon. Michelle?
I'm alongside Boston Latin head coach Ray Butler. Coach, you told me you wanted to make East Boston uncomfortable on defense. How would you describe your team's defensive effort in the first half?
We struggled a little bit to tackle them. They don't look uncomfortable at all playing offense. You know, they look pretty comfortable. So we'll have to, you know, just make sure we do our things a little bit better in the second half.
What specifically are those things you need to do better?
Tackling comes right to mind. We're lining up right. We're just not tackling. You know, we're getting there and we're not bringing them down to the ground.
If you are going to win this game, what do you need from your team in the second half?
We need more tackling, and we need to score at least 3 points.
All right, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Pat.
Thank you, guys.
Coach Butler, as always, we appreciate the halftime chat with the coaches because they got a lot to do right now, especially with all the COVID protocols. So anytime they can give us is fantastic. And you think they're going to talk about tackling at halftime?
I think so. Latin? I think that's first word, first and last word, right?
That's right.
But I really do think both coaches are happy.
Right.
The efforts there, definitely, no doubt about that, on both sides of the ball. Some of the few mental mistakes, East Boston lining up offside twice, you know, you can clean that up pretty easily. And so I think that overall, knowing that you're coming into the game, both teams with some inexperienced players, that's key. Right. And I give those kids credit. They've been paying attention, obviously, because that second quarter was very well played, and I think that we'll see a carryover of that in the third quarter.
That's right. I mean, a couple of inexperienced teams, a couple of young quarterbacks, but it does look like it out there on the field. Really nice first half from both these teams here in week 1 of BPS High School Football. Folks, going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime stats, some halftime highlights, and then we'll start the third quarter here from East Boston Memorial Stadium on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
The vaccine has helped me and has given me some sort of confidence into being back in public. Ahora puedo decir que me siento feliz de haberme vacunado. No me dolió, si eso es alguno de sus preguntas, y tampoco tuve un efecto secundario muy fuerte, nada más fue sueño. En verdad les recomiendo a todos los estudiantes que se vacunen. Es algo seguro y es algo que nos ayudará a retornar al mundo que alguna vez conocimos. So to all the students, I really recommend y'all to get vaccinated. It is something safe, and it is something that is going to help us return to the world we once knew. Thank you.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
breathe right into your foot,
your plumber's masseuse,
yes,
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Welcome back to East Boston Stadium during week 1 of the BPS High School Football season. It's the East Boston Jets leading the Boston Latin Wolfpack 16-14. We're just about set to start the third quarter here at East Boston Stadium with the Jets set to receive, Wolfpack set to kick off. 2-point game between the Jets and Wolfpack. Short squib kick there from Latin School as it's Christian Martinez jumping on the football right around the 41-yard line.
Oh, good starting spot for the Jets. I don't think it was an intentional squib kick, but it just turned out that way.
That's the second time George has kind of had one of those
ended
kicks.
up kicking to the tee also, which means he just like a missed kick. You see Thompson with Coach Pazziali. East Boston would like nothing more than to have a nice sustained drive, preferably all on the ground, and just take a 2-score lead.
I do want to make a correction here before we start the third quarter. It's Jay Kincaid, not Jai Kincaid. That is my fault. His dad just came over and helped us very nicely, helped us with the correction, which we appreciate. Now here on first down, Bermudez with a nice run over the right side. Well into Latin territory.
He's having a game. Of all the running backs East Boston's used, you see Bermudez with the 2 biggest runs of the game.
Yeah, Bermudez and De La Cruz has had a couple of big ones too.
Yeah, these hit the sideline. Once you break those, well, what did Coach Butler tell us at halftime? He said, we got to tackle better. We're getting there, but we got to tackle better. Perfect example. Especially when you have the Jets to have some speed in the backfield.
There are the Boston Latin halftime stats. George 13 for 18 for 105. George in power 52 yards and 14 yards. Then you see Chow with the 6 catches and a touchdown. Nice first half there for Chow.
And Checkmanian with those 3 catches from the tight end spot.
Solid run there on first down for the Jets as they make their way up to the 39-yard line. Make that the 29-yard line, excuse me.
We talked about players going both ways. Looks like that Latin front. East Boston, you had Thompson that didn't really throw the ball. You had Kincaid with the touchdown, 5 for 25, and then Martinez with 4 for 81 and a touchdown. Because Martinez had that huge, 54-yard run, most of that 81 yards.
Second down and 4 now for the Jets. Handoff over the left side. That's De La Cruz on the carry.
Yeah, it just seems like the East Boston team is just more comfortable. I mean, it's only the start of the third quarter, but this might be a really key time more for Boston Latin because they've got to slow this East Boston team down somehow. It's been a one-score game the entire time, so now Latin does not want to be in the position of going down 2 scores this quickly.
East Boston, as you mentioned, looking for a methodical drive. They're well on their way now. First down here for the Jets. Handoff to the big fella, Jay Kincaid, over the right side, and he makes his way past the 15. You see where they mark him down. It's very close to a first down. I believe he picked up 9 on the play.
First man through. Good job shedding tacklers, and that last dive gave him, you're right, gave him like a 9-yard gain.
I think they gave him an
Close to
8-yard
eight.
gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 2 now for the Jets. And we got a pre-snap penalty again. This time it's on Boston Latin.
Yeah, I think Latin that time lined up. Yep.
So we saw East Boston with, I think, 3 of those penalties in the first half. Oh, no, they called it a procedure penalty on the Jets.
Okay.
So back the Jets up 5. It'll be 2nd down and 7 now for East Boston. Originally, they pointed at Boston
exactly.
Latin,
but yeah, I think just pointed the wrong way. But we mentioned in the first half the difference between federation rules and MIAA rules, and it's something that sometimes it gets a little confusing. There are, like, the federation is basically, like I said before, sort of national high school sets of rules, and then each state has time, length of games and all that stuff.
That's been some controversy over the last couple of years, switching over to the federation rules here in Massachusetts.
And some confusion.
No question. Kincaid with a strong carry there on 2nd down, basically regains the penalty yardage, about a 5-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 2 now for the Jets.
You see him that time. Good strong arms to hold the ball. As Latin's trying to strip every time they tackle. They want to try to stop this drive any way they can.
3rd down and 2 now for East Boston.
Thompson.
And going to take it himself. Definitely picked up the first down as they mark him down right around the 12.
Yeah. Thompson using that 160 pounds to get the first down.
We mentioned those federation rules to the MIA rules. The MIA rules were actually similar to the college rules.
Right.
So one of the things that a lot of coaches and football folks around here in Massachusetts used to say was a lot of these referees, they ref high school games on Friday, college rule games on Saturday.
Yep.
And here's a nice run from Bermudez, who's in for a touchdown.
Huge hole for Bermudez. That was an easy one. Well, it made it look easy anyway.
That's right.
Execution's not easy, but when you do it right, it looks very easy. Watch right of your screen. Simple handoff, and the linebacker overplayed him. Jackmanian that time overplayed. And so now we have this, what I was talking about with this conversion can make it a 2-score game.
So the Jets with a fantastic touchdown drive to open things up here in the third quarter.
Exactly what they wanted. Exactly what they wanted.
Like you mentioned, Al, looking to make this a 2-score game with a 2-point conversion. And they hand off to
Not this time.
Kincaid, and nice job by Latin School.
No, they actually keyed on him. So that keeps it an 8-point game, which means Latin is, watch it, he's stonewalled right at the 3-yard line and nowhere to go at all. They piled that one up really well. Couldn't even see who it was.
Yeah,
it was such a scrum.
One of the Latin School linemen came right across.
Yeah.
And pushed an offensive lineman for the Jets back. and then that player hit Kincaid. So
almost like dominoes.
Nice play.
Yeah. But it's a huge play because, like I said, 22-14. Latin is still within a score and a conversion to tie the game. Even though you had East Boston with that drive take 5 minutes off the clock. I mean, this might come down to these coaches at this point are starting to think, we may only get the ball like twice for the rest of the game. So we got to make whatever we can out of each possession.
So the Jets, they kick off again. And once again, Latin School just has to pounce on it. You saw Rosenkrantz try to possibly pick it up.
I think he was thinking about, let me try to get something out of this.
Right.
But then obviously the instructions from the sideline, pounce on the ball. Once it dies, slows down, just corral it, cover it up.
Rosenkrantz had a little bit of room that time, so he had some time. Sometimes that squib kick doesn't go that far, so it's a quick, try to corral the ball because the kickoff team's coming right at you.
You have to decide right away. You have to decide right away. But like you said before, we've seen plenty of players misplay that and then have a turnover.
Now on first down, it's Latin School.
Power. And
Power makes his way past the 30-yard line up to the 32.
You see a simple handoff. We've seen these all day in between the guard and the tackle. Power actually got stood up, but then he was able to dive forward for a couple of extra yards. If you're Latin, you just can't make any mistakes with the football right now. Down 8 points and the clock is flying away on you. This is George, plenty of room.
George over the right side, still looking for some running room as he's dragged down inside Jets territory at the 48.
Tell you, George has had some, 52 yards in the first half. Nice fake by George. Goes to the middle, switches the ball to the outside hand. And like you said, gets past midfield. Let's not forget, Latin had a lot of success throwing both to the tight end and the wide receivers, Lau and Chow.
Now on first down, George looking for his receiver. Wide open is Chow. He couldn't hang on to the football.
He had to look back. I'm thinking he might have, the lights actually may have been in his eye as he looked back for it. But we just mentioned Lau and Chow. Those are the guys who had catches in the first half.
Chow had 6 catches in the first half. None would have been easier than that one.
He was wide open, that one. That would have been the easiest by far.
That would have been the easiest. Second down and 10 now for the Wolfpack. George slips in the backfield that time.
Yeah, trying to make a cut.
I think we had a flag on the play as well. This might be a hold on Latin School.
6-1. 6-1.
Yeah, the Latin sideline wanted to know who it was. So Earl embarrassed the kid by yelling out. Let's make sure you know who it is.
That's right. So that'll back the Wolfpack up 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, it really hurts. After that big run by George, they actually had something going.
.5:20 left to go here in the third quarter. George still trying to get rid of the football. His knee was down on the turf before he got rid of it. That would have been a heck of a play by George.
He made a good play on it. Watch, he's getting corralled right around here. Does a nice job to step up, but
he was not down.
He wasn't down.
He was not down.
That's too bad because Chakmani and the tight end actually made the catch. Very short of the first down, but at least it would have been almost half of the yards they need. So a third and very, very long.
So after the sack, that's going to be third and
17, is it?
It's going to be more than that. It's going to be third and I think 27.
Wow. Yeah.
3rd and 27.
Well, he has the arm to get it down there, but he's going to get time.
George.
Oh, yeah, nice catch.
Nice catch by Chow, who makes it up for the drop, makes his way past the 30. Heck of a play from George to Lau. Chow, excuse me.
Started with George, like you said. He's running around and zips it downfield, right in between Thompson looking for interception. So yeah, good play on both ends, and it's ironic because it's the same spot in the field where the other one was dropped. Again,
George on the option. He's had a couple of nice runs off this play already. Now inside the 20, down to the 19. 9-yard pickup there for Douglas George.
He's had a game, I tell you. He's got to be close to 100 yards running. Never mind his passing. He's had a good job passing and running. You see, you got nice moves, got running back type moves. So 2nd and 1.
Wolfpack looking for the first down. Catch made that time by Boston Latin.
Should be the first down.
And that was Chow again.
15-yard line.
So Chow picks up that huge completion and that first down on the catch there as well after dropping that pass. So he's made up for that play.
Oh, by far, yeah. He's gives his team a first down. Now he's going to line up with Rosenkrantz and double wides on this right side.
Now on first down, they hand off to Power. They drop the football. They drop the football. I think the Jets recovered.
They do.
East Boston recovers the football at the 20-yard line. We haven't seen a turnover. Well, we saw an interception at the end of the half there, but the Jets recover the fumble. And that's just a killer there for Boston Latin School.
We said a few minutes ago, Latin has to do the best thing is to, first of all, take care of the football.
It looked like
the
big
Latin,
number.
Yeah, the Latin kids are still arguing the call, but
yeah, they're saying they recovered it. Mike Portillo came across to disrupt that play. But it looked like that happens in option football too. Sometimes it's the quarterback and running back both trying to decide who should take the ball. And normally it's the quarterback who really makes that decision. If you're giving it to the running back, you really squeeze it in there.
It's like a feel type of thing. So the fullback might have thought that it was coming to him, so he's trying to wrap it up.
Second red zone turnover here for Boston Latin in this one. Now on first down for the Jets. Can't quite tell who had the carry that time. But it's a nice job there on first down. That's Bermudez with the, excuse me, that's De La Cruz with the carry on first down.
Okay, you got an injured player, Martinez, injured his leg.
Get away from him. Get away.
Not something the Jets want to see. He's one of their top defenders and a skill position player. They know it looks like a cramp.
Let's hope, yeah. Let's hope that's all it is. They got him some water, stretch him out.
By the look on Parziali's face, looks like it's just a cramp.
But oftentimes it feels like it's something worse.
That's right.
Stretch him out. Give him a couple of plays off.
Coach Parziali, you know, you're a high school coach. You got to be a coach, probably a psychologist most of the time, and then now you're an MD, you know, out on the field, telling them what's bothering them.
Good bedside manner, right?
Yes, exactly.
Field side manner.
Right.
Yeah. Well, again, without saying, you got 2:23 to go in the third quarter. So obviously Boston Latin has to figure out how to stop this potent East Boston offense. Either force them to punt or get the ball on downs. Latins, I mean, mentally, they got to be a little down now because they had a great drive going. I mean, a couple of huge plays, the big run by George, the big pass by George to Chow, then to have it turned over. Like you were saying before, like going back to that read option, you're right. The quarterback is the one who makes the decision, but the problem with the decision is that it's feel for the running back. So once the ball goes into his stomach, he expects that it's either going to be pulled out or it's going to be pushed into his stomach.
That's right.
Sometimes if the quarterback inadvertently or mistakenly pushes too much, the running back thinks he has it, so he's going to try to grab it and secure it. That's going to knock the ball away from both of them. That's exactly what happened in that play.
As they continue to tend to Christian Martinez down on the field, our sideline reporter Michelle Fenelon has an update for us. Michelle, what's happening?
East Boston head coach John Parziale told me this is the shortest offseason high school football players have ever had. He said 4 months is a quick turnaround, which is a good and a bad thing. He said the good thing is the players remember the plays because they just did them a couple of months ago. The bad thing is players don't have a lot of time to heal up, which is something to keep an eye out for in this game and the season moving forward. Pat?
Thanks so much, Michelle, and that's a great point that you have a lot of players that didn't have an off season, have a full off season to recover, and then you mentioned before too, Alan, they had a shortened a shortened winter sports season. Right. Then they crammed a fall 2 season, and then they did have a spring season. So you have some athletes in high school athletics here in Massachusetts who played 3 seasons of sports,
3 different things
in 6 months.
Right.
And it's like they just did not have enough time to recover.
It's very real, this whole idea of body clock. And if your body, especially for the guys who are seniors, if for 3 years, almost 4 years, their body's used to pounding in the fall, bruises, and getting nicked up. But then, if you play basketball or hockey or something else different,
right? Basketball, it's your knees on the hardwood floor.
There you go. And then in the spring, some of these guys have track and field, and baseball.
Second 3 now for the Jets. Another nice run here for Kincaid, who's still on his feet. And they mark him down right around the Boston Latin 46-yard line.
Yeah, he's a load to bring down at this point. I mean, he was right off the mark. And Thompson did a good job securing the handoff.
24-yard run there for Jay Kincaid.
Yeah, if you watch him, protected the football as he gets past the line of scrimmage. Now just finishing off strong. Yeah, Latin's going to be in tough shape if East Boston converts this drive.
Clock under 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, and another pre-snap penalty. False start on the Jets.
False start on the offense, number 11. Still first down. 5 yards.
Okay, Michael O'Neal being called on that one.
So that'll back East Boston up to their own 49-yard line. So it'll be first down and 15 now for East Boston.
This might be the last play of the quarter, actually.
First down and 15 now for the Jets.
Staying in that 2-back formation.
On first down, the handoff to De La Cruz. He finds the corner. Move. But then he's dragged down.
So Chow did a good job to find him. Yeah.
That could have been a massive run there.
I thought he was going to hit the sideline, but Chow was able to somehow cut off that angle. That's the end of the third quarter. But you're right. He had the entire sideline wide open if he could have got past Chow.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter here at East Boston Memorial Stadium. It's the East Boston Jets on top of the Boston Latin Wolfpack, 22-14. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter here on Game of the Week. It's a one-score game, folks. Make sure you stick around. Welcome back to East Boston Memorial Stadium for week 1 of the BPS High School Football season. It's the East Boston Jets leading the Boston Latin Wolfpack 22-14. And folks, before we get going here in the fourth quarter, it's the East Boston Jets with an 8-point lead as we start the fourth quarter here on Game of the Week. And if you're East Boston, you're faced with a 2nd down and 6. They haven't changed the marker yet. Should not be first down.
Yeah, it should be second.
There we go. 2nd down and 6 now for the Jets. And like we've been saying this whole time, if they can get one more score up, they go up 2 scores here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the way this game has been played defensively, you're right. It's always either been tied or 1-score game, and that's why all the pressure right now is on that Latin defense. They've got to figure out a way, and like we said, a lot of this defensive unit is also the offensive unit. So like Power, the big fullback, is a linebacker in there. You know, George is out there, Rosenkrantz is out there, Lau. 3rd and 4.
And Kincaid picked up a couple, and he makes his way up to the 37-yard line, so he's going to be about a yard short. It's going to be 4th and 1 now for East Boston.
It's 4-down territory,
so the Jets will have to convert, pick up a yard here on 4th down.
Last time they needed a yard, the quarterback just kept it. Thompson just kept it and found the seam to dive across for the 1st down. Got plenty of options. If they got let me see, the big kid's coming in, the senior. Pedronio's kind of come in. Daniel, number 8, he'll be in the backfield.
You got Pedronio and Kincaid, so you got 2 big
baby bulls, right?
Fullbacks in there. That's what you call a monster backfield. And now the Latin Wolfpack want a timeout.
They want to get some bigger guys in.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I would guess. You're right. Petronio, we talked about him. He's 5'10", 210. He's a senior. We talked about Kincaid, listed at 6 feet, 210. He's a junior. So either one of those would have been some thunder.
Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up on that site. Make sure you like us on Facebook and also check out all the updates on what games we're going to be covering. We also have links to all the games that we do cover, so you can watch the games again if you'd like. Also, you can follow us on social media. Go to Twitter. Check us out on Twitter at Boston City TV. We post a lot of updates on there as well. We post a lot of different videos and some of the plays of the game that we have throughout the season. You can also tweet at us at Boston City TV by using the hashtag BostonGOW. Yeah, like you mentioned, Al, that's a double-barreled backfield there.
That was definitely worth a timeout.
Yeah, that's right.
No doubt.
Well, I think like we've been saying, too, this is a huge play. If Latin can keep
possession,
get the ball back here early in the fourth quarter, they have time for a methodical drive down the field. On 4th down, the Jets pick up the 1st down. Nothing fancy, just the big fellow that time, Jay Kincaid, making his way up to the 35.
They've been running that left side a lot, and success continues. To get the 1st down. Clock's still running.
Still haven't seen a punt yet in this game.
No, they haven't.
Unbelievable.
It's interesting because, like in the past, when we've seen Boston Latin, they usually have a place kicker for at least to try field goals. They were close once. Unfortunately they fumbled the ball.
Now on 1st down, the handoff over the left side, and
good job.
Coming across in the backfield is Sahachian. The big nose tackle making the play.
And that's the kind of play that Boston Latin needs more of that because they know they've got to get the ball back for the offense.
2-yard loss on the play there for the Jets as Sahachian came across
he's going to
make
take
the
a
stop.
break. Yeah, he did a good job.
He's one of the few starters on the defensive line for Boston Latin that came back here in the fall. He's now a senior for the Wolfpack. 2nd and 12 now for East Boston. Thompson rolling to his right to throw and overthrows his receiver. It was Wilson Zhang who was open over the right side, but Taylor just a little too strong for him.
Yeah, I'm still not sure why the receiver turned around. He actually sort of did a 360. But
well, we've seen on Taylor Thompson's both attempts. Certainly has the arm strength to play quarterback. He can zip it out there.
But again, a team, you got East Boston, a team that's based on their running. They don't really want to pass the ball if they don't have to.
That's right.
And this is a perfect example of it. Especially even the quarterback can run. So you have on any given play, you have 3 to 4 players who literally could run the football.
3rd and 3 now for the Jets. 13, excuse me.
This forces a I formation.
Thompson going to take it himself. Thompson with a nice run. Back on his feet, makes his way past the 30 up to the 28-yard line.
There's going to be a 4th and about 3.
Much more manageable 4th and 3 after that run by Thompson.
Like we just said, we just said how he's a good runner himself. Sidesteps the first guy and then is able to slip out of that tackle. Finally, Chow was able to corral him. It's going to be like 4th and 4. Yeah, the defensive front for Latin has to come up big now to give themselves a chance. This clock is really winding down quickly. Coach Pazziali for East Boston just taking his time, giving Thompson the play. They may even decide to call a timeout here. Yeah, let the clock run down, take a timeout. Yep. Helps to give the entire team a break. Catch your breath. It's a 4th down play. We can clinch the game, or come close to clinching the game with this, because whether we score or not, we're going to kill more time. So it's a huge play. Both teams much bigger for Latin. Obviously, they need the ball back, but it's a big play for East Boston in terms of controlling with this 8-point lead.
Yeah, no question. This is the type of situation that East Boston always wants to be in the 4th quarter of these games, in a position to run the football, ground and pound, kill the clock, and really control the 4th quarter, because that's exactly what their offense is based on.
We've seen them do it a number of times over the years. Different players, the names change, the numbers change, but the same system. And who was the kid who had the last play? The big
Will Sahachian.
Okay, now he'll probably get double teamed on this play. Yeah, he's in there. The other one, Christian Lerich, 75. Both those guys have made plays in the backfield. 4th and 4. Shotgun, wow.
Thompson out of the shotgun. They give it to Kincaid. Kincaid with a full head of steam past the 25 up to the 24-yard line.
Oh, it's an interesting play because they went to the shotgun, but it was still a simple handoff. But it ended up giving Kincaid more room. But you see the way he cuts back to the middle. Good job.
Player from Boston Latin School now down on the turf for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that was interesting play by East Boston.
Yeah, you wonder if on a play like that, they, a long strider, because Kincaid's tall, so he needs that kind of stride to kind of get going. When you get in the shotgun, it gives him a little more room.
I think that's probably the answer right there, because it is unusual that you're going to start your offense 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage when you need 4 yards for the first down.
I think that's Garrett Quinn. Yep, that's Garrett Quinn down on the turf. He's not a player that the Latin School Wolfpack can lose. He, like we mentioned, they converted him from a running back to a guard, and he's had a nice night, you know, in his first game as a guard. So it looks like he's okay.
Yeah, he might have got the wind knocked out of him, because it doesn't seem like he's holding anything. Yeah, hopefully that's all it was.
You know, that's another thing that players without a lot of varsity time, they don't sometimes understand, you know, what's a tough injury that you really got to sit out for. What's an injury you just kind of work with.
Yeah, are you injured or are you just hurt?
Right.
That's what it comes down to, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're injured, you can't play. If you're hurt,
it's your choice.
You might have to deal with it.
Well, again, you got Latin in the same situation. You have East Boston in the same situation. East Boston obviously feeling far more comfortable, in control of this whole situation. They'll go back to that 2 running back set.
First down for the Jets from the 24-yard line. They go to Bermudez on this carry. Or excuse me, De La Cruz. And De La Cruz is met just past the line of scrimmage. That was Eric Power out of the linebacker spot making the tackle.
Yeah,
1 yard gain on the play.
Powell did a good job of filling that gap. It looked like there was an opening, but Powell filled it pretty quickly.
So a 1 yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Make that 2nd down and 8 for the East Boston Jets. They picked up 2 there on 1st down. 2nd down and 8 for the Jets. Under 7 minutes left to play now. Jets hand off over the left side to Bermudez, and again Latin School comes across. Might have been a 1 yard loss on the play there for East Boston.
Latin is going all out defensively. I mean, they literally have no one in the defensive backfield in the middle of the field. They have the linebackers coming up to the line of scrimmage. They have the safeties also coming up. I mean, like we said before, East Boston doesn't want to really pass the ball if they don't have to, but believe me, it's wide open if they decide to fake a handoff and throw the ball, because literally 10 of the 11 Latin players are at the line of scrimmage. Still a tight formation, just one wide receiver for East Boston.
Thompson going to roll to his right. Thompson gets past the defense. Thompson's still on his feet. Heck of a run by Thompson to the end zone. Touchdown.
We got a flag.
East Boston Jets. Is that coming back?
Yeah, we got a flag here on the sideline. Yeah.
It's going to be a hold on Eastie.
Oh, block in the back. Yeah. But still, that was some run by Thompson.
That was a real nice run.
We talked about his running ability earlier. Okay, he's 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So now he gets back to the line, makes a cut right here.
Is that the block in the back right there?
Yeah, that's it. That was it. Yeah, good camera work. So a little bit of a reprieve for Boston Latin.
Here's another look at it. We'll see if we can catch it.
Watch
on
the
this
left
shot.
of your screen. Maybe you can see. Yeah,
right
that's it right there. Yep.
You know what? He was already by the
He
defender.
was, yeah. Yeah, Randy Bermudez just trying to help his teammate out, but he didn't really need to, because you're right. Thompson had already cut by that defender. Well, 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go. And
so now a 3rd and 13 for East Boston. Wolfpack looking to make a couple of stops here to try to get the ball back. Jets looking to ice the game with under 5 minutes left to go. Thompson looking to throw it, and the ball falls incomplete. Again, the pass a little too high that time for Zhang. And now the Jets stop the clock with 4:44 left to go, and they'll be faced with a 4th and 13.
they might run some of the play, or they can go to the draw. To either any of the runners.
You know, if you're East Boston, it's 3rd and 13. You know, you could have ran the ball there. Even if you don't get the first down, you're starting to kill some clock. Now you have an incomplete pass. The clock stops, and you're still faced with 13 yards to get a first down.
But I think what East Boston was thinking is just what you said. The Latins thinking that there's no way they're going to throw the ball.
True.
So let's line up for the pass. I mean, that they did a good job getting pressure on Thompson to make it an errant pass. But I think that's exactly what they figured Latins is thinking.
4th and 13 now for the Jets. Thompson going to take it himself on the keeper. Same play as last time. Thompson going to glide in for a touchdown.
Another flag.
And just like that play last time, we're going to bring this one back.
Yeah, this is...
Coach Parziale is out at the numbers right now.
26.
Yeah, and it's the running backs. It's amazing. The last one was Bermudez. This one is...
He didn't have to even touch him. He didn't have to touch him because he was already by him.
Yeah, that's...
It's a hold on the Jets this time.
26.
Dela Cruz, yeah. There it is, right there. He grabbed it. Yeah, he grabbed the defensive back.
Yeah, it's slight, but it's definitely a hold.
Oh, it's enough to take Lau out of the play.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lau was right there.
Varsh Morrissey working the replay unit for us tonight, doing a great job. Nice camera work down on the field by Rich Rosenthal.
Coordination. There you go.
That's right.
You have to have that.
Week 1, and our guys out on the field are...
They've been waiting for football too, right?
That's right. Been waiting 2 years for football too.
Everybody's been waiting for football.
And now Latin School takes a timeout here. 4:02 left to go.
Yeah, Latin obviously got to get a stop here. I mean, Thompson has run. Well, the first one, I mean, it was all Thompson. This one,
right.
that play on Lau, gave Thompson the open field. But now, if you're Latin, you've got to, first of all, you got to catch your breath. Because all we got to do is get the football back. We only have 4 minutes left in the game. So, and they definitely have a chance because George has been throwing the ball so well. But you've got first things first. You got to get the football.
And they so far have not made a.
They haven't made a big defensive play. They have not made a big defensive play yet. They put themselves in good position for it, but it's they've allowed. Well, you can't say allowed, but at least Boston has forced their way to a bunch of conversions. Well, if there's a trick run play, we could see it. If there's a trick pass play, we could see it. Because a conversion here clearly will close this down. Okay, so now we got Dela Cruz spread left as a wide receiver. And you got Bermudez spread right as a wide receiver.
4th and 15 for the Jets. It's Thompson this time over the left side with that
arm
similar
tackle,
play.
wow.
Is he going to pick up the first down?
No.
He's well short
Yeah,
at
well
the
short. Wow.
19-yard line.
But more of what Coach Butler said at halftime. There's a missed arm. Watch this, a missed arm tackle right there. And that allowed Thompson to actually get another, 8 yards, even though he's well short because they had that long yardage to go.
Chow held on for dear life that time,
Right,
wrapping up
right.
Thompson's legs, doing a nice job coming up with the stop. So now the Boston Latin Wolfpack take over at their own 20-yard line. 3:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Boston Latin down by 8, so they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it up.
They've got plenty of time. They have timeouts left. And they have a strong arm in the backfield with George. Lau, Chow, and the tight end, Chakmakian, have been the main receivers.
Now on first down for Latin. George off the fake. Has nowhere to go with it. Makes his way up to the 21-yard line. So just a 1-yard gain.
Trying to catch East Boston defense all backing up for a pass, but instead, good alert reaction by East Boston. Who was that? That's
Portillo.
Yeah. That's
Pedronio.
Pedronio. Nice play.
Second down and 9 now for Latin School. George going to go to the air over the right side. He's got a receiver. I think that's Rosenkrantz with the catch. It is, but just a short gain on the play, so just a gain of 4. Clock continues to wind down. We're going to be under 3 minutes before they get their next play off.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. Yeah, it's a big difference when you have an East Boston team playing pass defense. See, those receivers were open earlier in the game because you had East Boston looking for the run.
3rd down and 5 now for Latin School. George over the middle. Has
beautiful catch.
Chow now down the right sideline with some room. Chow past one defender. Chow with some space. He makes his way well into East Boston territory down to the 33-yard line. Massive play there for the Latin Wolfpack.
Again, right on the money. Excellent pass. Good job by Chow to catch it. I like the way he able to add all that yardage and get it out of bounds to stop the clock.
Now first down from the East Boston 34-yard line. George off the option. George now cutting it back, but he gets wrapped up right around the 33-yard line. Coming across was again Pedronio with the tackle.
Yeah, the fake is to power. He's trying to come back to the opposite side. Like you said, there's Pedronio. Good job. He stayed where he's supposed to stay. He didn't chase the ball fake to power. That put Pedronio in position for the tackle.
So second down and 9 now for the Wolfpack. They throw over the right side. That time it's once again. Excuse me, that time it's one of their receivers, that's Nzolik, excuse me, on the catch.
Yeah, good catch by Nzolik, and as we can, dumps out of bounds. 1:46 to go.
So another first down for East Boston, now at the 23-yard line. Excuse me, first down for Boston Latin at the 23-yard line of the East Boston Jets.
And the Jets are going to take a defensive timeout here. I think Coach Pazielli wants to make an adjustment on their coverages. Looks like they've been in some form of a zone, but they may want to talk about sending a blitzer, or they may want to have an extra defensive back in there. Because Latin's they've done a good job with the passing game. I mean, they harvested the huge pass that got them into East Boston territory. But I mean, even that the short pass they just had, they're putting themselves in makeable situations. They only have 1:46 left, but with his arm and the way the receivers have been getting open, good chance for Latin to get this tying touchdown.
Latin School also with a couple of timeouts left if they need to stop the clock. 1:46 left to go in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for Boston Latin. They're at the East Boston 23-yard line.
It's funny, both teams are looking at each other's formations.
That's right. George out of the shotgun, pump fakes, then throws over the left side's got a completion once again to Chow.
Chow's had a huge game.
He's going to sleep good tonight.
He'll sleep on the bus. Never mind tonight. He has had a good game. You're right, and he's played both sides. He also plays special teams.
About a 6-yard gain there on first down. 2nd down and 4 now for the Latin Wolfpack.
They actually could run this if they wanted to.
George had some pressure up the middle, kind of just threw it away there. If he had an extra.
I'm actually really surprised they didn't run that one. But 2nd down and 4, you might catch, again, East Boston backing up in pass defense. 1:11 to go. Still got time. Still got, like you said, timeouts. But you got to convert. 2 chances to make this first down.
Like you said, if you're Boston Latin, you could run the option play
with
with George.
I was a little surprised that they didn't do it that time on the second down.
And they do run the option play with George. He cuts it back up the middle. George inside the 15, inside the 10, down to about the 6. So clock stops on a first down.
They block to keep the blitzer off him, and George has been running well all night.
About a 10-yard pickup there for George. Now we're under a minute left to go. First and goal for Boston Latin. Like I said, they do have a couple of timeouts.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're letting the clock wind down like this.
George out of the shotgun, looking over the left side, and that pass was broken up. That time looked like Valencia came across to make the play as a defensive back.
Trying to get back to Chow again. Chow has turned into the favorite receiver for the night. Second and 7.
That'll be second and goal for
goal, right. Yeah.
Boston Latin School from the 7-yard line. Clock stopped with 42 seconds left to go. George again off the option. Finds some room. George towards the pylon. Does he get in? Does he get dragged down? He's short of the goal line.
Got to take a timeout here. Yeah,
down at about the 2, so about a 5-yard pickup there for George.
You got to take a timeout because they need to catch their breath. I'm not sure what Latin.
They're just going to run a play. George again on the keeper. George dives into the end zone. We get a flag on the play.
A late flag.
Play like that, that's got to be on the offense.
Yeah. Either a hold or holding, pushing the back. Yeah.
In the white, right?
So a hold on.
5-6. 5-6.
Justin Stevenson called for a holding penalty. Yeah, the problem with that is it takes you down to, all you can do now is throw the ball.
Yeah, you've got third and goal from the 11 now.
Yeah.
And
clock says 8 seconds. I think, I'm not sure why. Yeah, hopefully they're going to reset here.
Latin School takes a timeout.
Yeah, the clock should have stopped when the penalty was walked off.
Yeah, it might not be the right time on the scoreboard. So even if time does run out, they might have Latin get one more play. Because with 8, if it was still at 8 seconds, then, Latin School might have had a chance to throw a play to the sideline and get at least a little bit closer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the scoreboard's got to be wrong with the timeouts, too. It says that there are 4 timeouts for Latin. They just took 1, so that down to 3. Well, see if George has one more pass in his bag of tricks.
Heck of a game here at East Boston Memorial Stadium. Wolfpack down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now at the East Boston 11-yard line. Third and goal for Latin Wolfpack.
And now East Boston wants a timeout. Again, you watch the formations. That time, Latin set 3 wide receivers to the left side, excuse me, wide side of the field, plenty of room. So in that situation, usually they decoy that side and throw something to the short side. They got the touchdown earlier in the game to Lau with that same formation. So possibly East Boston recognized it and wants to alert the kids on the opposite side of the field, the short side. Listen, they scored already that way. Let's protect the entire line of scrimmage. I mean, the way this game started, you wouldn't think it would come down to a last play, but
that's right.
This is what we have. I mean, it was 8-8 for a while. Then East Boston took the lead and scored twice. Now Latin is down by just 8 points, but they've got to throw it to the end zone.
They have 2 seconds left on the clock here on the scoreboard of the stadium, so that's what we're going to go with for now. Latin Wolfpack looking to get into the end zone. 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line. George looking for a receiver. He's got a receiver in the corner. It's broken up by East Boston, and that should seal it for the Jets.
Well, those are the plays they've been running the entire game, and like you said, the defensive play for the Jets is what sealed it.
And that's going to do it here at East Boston Memorial Stadium. The Jets hang on to win over the Boston Latin Wolfpack 22-14.
Great way to start the season, though.
Really nice game here in week 1. I mean, you have 2 teams that...
Well played, yeah.
And these two programs actually don't normally play, throughout the season. You've seen Latin
two different conferences.
That's right.
Latin's been in the Dual County for years, and
that's right.
East Boston, of course, has always been in the City League.
The Boston North, right.
But this is it's a challenge for both of them. Like you said, the unfamiliarity.
That's right.
To start the season, but they really played well. They really did.
Yeah, both offenses executed well. You saw both teams move the ball up and down the field. The only reason that teams didn't score touchdowns was either, a couple of turnovers there for the
penalties.
Wolfpack, one of the before the half, and penalties
that's right.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
So, pretty clean football game for all the things that these football teams have been through. The quick turnaround from the spring season to now, with a lot of inexperienced players that both these teams had, like we mentioned, well-executed game and a really fun game to start the season.
No doubt about that, and good choice as a starting the game, because there are other teams are playing opening this season, but this is as good as you're going to get for the opening game.
No question. Yeah. We saw a good one here tonight in East Boston. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week player of the game, our final stats here from East Boston High School Memorial Stadium. Excuse me. So make sure you stick around.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You're still talking to your friends. It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
Welcome back to East Boston Memorial Stadium. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the East Boston Jets defeated the Boston Latin Wolfpack 22-14. And Alan, we had a lot of running backs for East Boston tonight, make a lot of contributions. Some of the running backs got some pretty big rushing numbers, but it seemed like Kincaid really made the big conversions when it counted, had a touchdown, had a 2-point conversion. He's our player of the game.
Sometimes football is real simple. Give it to the big kid and see what he does. He, like you say, he converted 3 different third downs and then 1 4th down.
That's right.
Just as important as scoring.
That's right. He really extended some drives and, of course, had the touchdown. Jay Kincaid is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon. Michelle, have at it.
I'm alongside East Boston running back Jay Kincaid. Jay, 13 rushes, 71 yards, and one touchdown. How are you able to be so productive today?
I want to be able to be so productive without my offensive line. They opened holes for me, and I kept pushing for yards when people grabbed me, and I just kept moving forward.
When people play East Boston, they know what to expect. You're going to run the ball, but it's still hard to stop. Why is it so hard to stop this offense?
Because I think this team itself has a lot of chemistry, and we like to protect each other. So anybody, if we need to get a yard, if we need to get a first down, a touchdown, I could put trust into my brothers to help me.
I know you played football just 4 months ago and you're back again. How happy are you just to be back playing football in September?
I'm really happy, to be honest, and I'm happy to be alongside everybody too.
Thank you so much. Now we'll move over and talk to your head coach.
Hi. Don't worry, guys. I don't have COVID.
Coach, your defense was amazing tonight, especially in that second half. How were you able to stop Boston Latin's offense?
Well, they run a very complicated scheme. They throw the ball a lot, as you saw, and they have a great scheme over there. And they watch what we're doing defensively, and then they switch it up, and they'll make some calls there. We started to try and run a little man, which is not a thing normally, but we ran a little bit of man. It helped us a little bit, and we just had to get a little tougher up front, and we got lucky in the end. They're a very good team, and give Latin School and Coach Butler credit. They did a very good job tonight. We just come out one play ahead tonight.
What do you think was the difference maker for you tonight?
Tonight, a difference maker, I would say, again, you go back to echo what Jay said. I think the offensive line really blocked well. Yes, we're going to run the ball, but we threw it a couple times, although we didn't really complete it. But, you know, the line played excellent, and we had 3-4 backs getting the ball, so it's tough to key on people. I know Jay had a nice game, but the other guys, too, all ran the ball pretty well. So hopefully we can keep that up. And Taylor also is the quarterback ran, so we have Randy, Taylor, we have Christian Martinez, we have Josh. We have a bunch of backs there, so we're hoping to keep them fresh, even Daniels, so we want to try and do that with them.
How much of a relief is it to just get that first win out of the way?
Well, it's always good to be 1-0 versus 0-1. But this is a long season. It's a process. We have Brighton next week. They're a very good team, as always. Last year, we only beat them by 1 touchdown. It was a super close game. And again, they're going to be ready to go. And we have to travel to them, so we have no home field advantage. So it's going to be a tough game.
Thanks, Coach. Brighton came out with the win tonight, so we'll have 2 1-0 teams facing next week. Thanks, Coach, and good luck moving forward.
Two-time champs.
Always love when the East Boston Jets, usually the MVP is a running back. I mean, especially with the way that this Jets team plays offense. But Coach Parziale always has the offensive line stand behind the MVP running back because he knows how important they are to that player.
And then it also makes the MVP talk about the line.
That's right.
So it all works in coordination.
That's right. That's like I said, head coaches, they're also psychologists a little bit too. Folks, we're going to take a look at the final stats here from East Boston Memorial Stadium before we sign off. And first up's going to be the Boston Latin Wolfpack.
For Latin, George, the quarterback, had an amazing game. He was 19 for 28, 26 yards and 2 touchdown passes. George also ran for 83 yards on 12 carries. Powell, the big fullback, had 18 yards on 9 carries. Receiving Chow, huge game, 10 catches, 125 yards and a touchdown. And Chakmanian, the tight end, had 3 catches for 36 yards. So Latin put up some numbers. But the defense on East Boston, as they adjusted to what Latin was doing, was able to keep them to 14 points.
Yeah, Boston Latin had 2 big turnovers in the red zone that really hurt them.
Yeah, as for East Boston, Thompson, nothing throwing the ball, but they didn't need to throw the ball because you had Kincaid with 13 carries, 71 yards and a touchdown. Then Dela Cruz had that huge 54-yard sprint that he ended up with over 100 yards, 107 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. So East Boston played the game they wanted to play. Kill the clock, run the ball, get first downs, just chew away, and score. And then on defense, like you said, they were able to force a couple of turnovers, and that really sort of threw Latin off. Latin had some chances all the way to the very end, but East Boston just had enough defensively to make some good plays.
No question. Well-played game tonight, as we've been saying this entire time. And really, I think both coaches probably are happy that they got this game in to kind of shake off the cobwebs a little bit, kind of get things organized, but also very well played by both these teams. Folks, you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our website. You can go to boston.gov/cable, scroll down on the bottom of the screen, click on Game of the Week. It'll route you to our video library. You can check out all the games on there. You can also go to social media, go to our Facebook page, go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up on that site. Information about what games we're going to be covering, links to the games that we've covered already, links to being able to watch the games live on YouTube. It's all there on our Facebook page, so make sure you like us there. You can also follow us on Twitter @BostonCityTV, and if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Next week, we're going to see Eastie again. Want to know tonight? Michelle mentioned it. She's giving us updates across the board that Brighton beat O'Brien tonight. They had a 4 o'clock game. Brighton won over at O'Brien High School, so now they'll be home next week hosting East Boston. We're going to hope to bring that to you next Friday night at 6:30 from Daly Field. But for tonight, we're going to say so long here from East Boston Memorial Stadium. We'll see you next time here in Game of the Week. Have a good weekend, everybody.